Jesse might not have the most screen time in The Last of Us Part 2, but his presence is unforgettable. As a patrol leader in Jackson, a loyal friend, and the father of Dina's child, Jesse represents something rare in this brutal world: decency, responsibility, and quiet heroism. Now, with Young Mazino stepping into the role for HBO's second season, a new audience is about to discover one of the franchise's most underrated characters. But what made Jesse so impactful in such a short time? Today, we're breaking down 10 essential facts about Jesse, covering his origins, behind-the-scenes details, emotional story beats, and why his legacy still echoes through the narrative. Let's dive in. Jesse's origins, a Jackson native with history. Jesse's arrival in Jackson wasn't just about survival, it was about building something lasting. As one of the younger adults in the community, Jesse was part of the first generation to really grow up under Maria and Tommy's leadership. He wasn't hardened like Joel or weathered like Tommy, but he learned from them. His relationship with Dina started during these early years, and while their romance eventually fizzled out, the way they handled their breakup says a lot about Jesse. That emotional maturity defines so much of what makes him special. He puts others' needs above his own, again and again. Jesse, the patrol veteran. Jesse's role as a patrol leader in Jackson wasn't just about killing infected. It was about protecting a fragile civilization. He knew the routes, trained new recruits, and took responsibility seriously. That's why Maria trusted him with organizing patrol shifts, something we see firsthand when he assigns routes to Ellie and Dina at the beginning of Part 2. In a world where the wrong decision could mean losing someone to a clicker, Jesse's calm under pressure made him indispensable. He wasn't flashy, but his authority was earned. And when chaos hit Jackson, he didn't hesitate. He was already thinking about what needed to be done, bringing Jesse to life, voice, motion, and face. Jesse's realism isn't just due to storytelling. It's thanks to the trifecta of Stephen Chang, Jasper John, and the animators at Naughty Dog. Chang's voice work gave Jesse a quiet intensity, while his motion capture work added nuance to the character's posture, facial expressions, and subtle emotional beats. John's face gave the character a grounded, approachable quality that made Jesse feel like someone you'd actually know in real life. Combined, their work brought Jesse to life in a way that made his death feel even more devastating, because it was easy to believe in his humanity. The Asian cowboy archetype. The phrase Asian cowboy isn't just a catchy label. It's a statement about Jesse's quiet defiance of post-apocalyptic nihilism. Cowboys in fiction are symbols of frontier justice and personal code. Jesse embodied that idea, but without bravado. He wasn't trying to be a hero. He just was one. In a genre where Asian characters are often relegated to side roles, Jesse's calm leadership and moral clarity made him stand out. And importantly, he was never reduced to stereotypes. His race was part of his identity, but never his defining trait. That's rare in gaming, and it mattered. Jesse's solo journey to Seattle. Jesse leaving Jackson alone wasn't just brave, it was reckless. But that recklessness came from love and loyalty. He didn't need to go. No one ordered him to. But he knew Ellie and Dina were out there, facing danger, and he couldn't live with himself if he stayed behind. His arrival in Seattle is one of the game's most cathartic moments. He shows up just as Ellie is overwhelmed, and with no hesitation, joins the fight. He doesn't demand an explanation. He doesn't question the mission. He simply steps in, because his friends need him. That's Jesse in a nutshell. The father reveal, Dina's pregnancy. When Jesse learns that Dina is pregnant, and that he's the father, it would have been easy for the game to take the soap opera route. But The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't deal in cliches. Jesse's reaction is subtle. There's pain, sure, but also clarity. He knows the mission can't stop, and he knows protecting Dina means moving forward, not looking back. His ability to compartmentalize his emotions, without burying them, makes his character feel real. In a different world, maybe he and Dina could have figured things out. But this isn't that world. And Jesse knows it. A shocking death without warning. Jesse's death is a masterclass in narrative shock. There's no music cue. 1 second he's bursting into a room to help Ellie, the next he's dead. Just like that. Players didn't see it coming. And that's the point. The scene reflects the unpredictability of violence in the world of The Last of Us. It's messy, it's fast, and it doesn't care who you are. What makes it worse is how quiet the aftermath is. There's no long mourning sequence. The mission just continues. That's the cost of revenge. That's the world Jesse lived in and died in. Ellie's Journal and the Unspoken Grief. Ellie never writes Jesse's name in her journal, and that silence says more than words ever could. Up until then, she chronicled her emotions openly, her guilt over Joel, her fears about Dina. But after Jesse's death, her entries go cold. The closest we get is a line scrawled across a bloodstained page. "I miss you. I don't know if I ever knew you." It's haunting, it's honest, and it captures the emotional toll Jesse's death took on Ellie, something she never quite processed. Jesse's legacy, through JJ and memory. Jesse may be gone, but his influence lives on. JJ, Dina and Jesse's son, represents the possibility of a future Jesse never got to see. And yet, through Dina's stories and the support of Jesse's family, his memory is kept alive. The farmhouse scenes in the latter half of Part 2 are some of the most emotional in the series. Ellie feeding JJ, Dina singing to him. It's all built on Jesse's sacrifice. Without him, that life wouldn't exist. And even though he's not physically there, Jesse's spirit lingers. In the way people remember him, in the way they honor his choices. Young Mazino as Jesse in the HBO series. Casting Young Mazino as Jesse was a brilliant choice. Coming off his breakout role in Beef, Mazino brings both emotional vulnerability and quiet charisma, exactly what Jesse needs. And with Mazino's Korean-American background, the HBO show maintains Jesse's cultural identity while adding new layers through a performance-driven lens. But one thing's for sure, audiences are going to fall in love with this version of Jesse just as fast as gamers did in 2020. Final verdict. Jesse might not be the flashiest character in The Last of Us, but he's one of its most grounded. He represents the kind of person you'd want beside you in the apocalypse. Not because he's the strongest, but because he never lets you down. In a world filled with betrayal, violence, and moral ambiguity, Jesse is a rare constant, loyal, responsible, selfless. His death hits so hard because we recognize him. We need people like Jesse to believe in something better. And when that kind of person is taken away, it reminds us just how fragile hope really is. And with young Mazino now stepping into the role, we're about to see Jesse's story resonate with an even broader audience. Hopefully, it will remind everyone that heroism isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's just quietly doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Let us know in the comments. What was your favorite Jesse moment in the game? Do you think HBO will do his story justice? And how are you feeling about Season 2 overall? Want to dive deeper into the world of survival horror and unforgettable characters? Gamefly has you covered. Rent the games, explore the stories, and rediscover classics. Click the link in the description to start your free trial today. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, gaming, anime, and all things nerd culture, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. This is Waz Up Nerd Insider, and we'll catch you in the next one.